Baptist Health Sports Medicine prides itself on designing the best programs for our high school and middle school athletes. We are dedicated to providing these athletes with great injury prevention programs. When done consistently, the exercises you are about to see will help decrease injuries to your athletes and allow them to function at a higher level. Evidence-based research shows that a dynamic warm-up and great hip and core strength drastically reduces athletic injuries and increases sports performance. Please incorporate these exercises on a daily basis with your sport teams, and your Baptist athletic trainer will be happy to answer any of your questions. Hi, my name is Ken Chapman. I'm with Baptist Sports Medicine, and this is a dynamic warm-up and strengthening exercises that we would like you to perform with all of your athletes prior to every practice. This single knee to chest exercise is very important for hip flexibility. You should hold the stretch 1 to 2 seconds while really concentrating on balancing on the opposite extremity. This is a standing quadriceps stretch. The athlete must stand tall, pull their heel to their rear, and hold that position for 1 to 2 seconds. They must not lean forward. They must also concentrate on having a slight bend in their stance knee in order to work on balance. This is a great exercise for the flexibility of both hips. Lunge forward with your left knee as far as possible. Balance with your right hand on the ground and then drop your left elbow to your left instep. You're going to hold this position for 1 to 2 seconds without having your right knee touch the ground. Then you will extend your hips toward the ceiling while balancing on your right hand and feel the stretch in your left hamstring as well as your right calf. Then you're going to balance on your left leg and lunge forward with your right and complete the same exercise on the opposite extremity. Again, holding all of those positions 1 to 2 seconds when you're in the lunge position and 1 to 2 seconds when you extend your rear toward the ceiling. Just make sure on this hamstring flexibility exercise that you stand tall while alternating legs. This is the sumo squat to inchworm exercise. Bend at your waist, grabbing under your big toes on both feet. Keep your arms as straight as possible and pull your hips down until they're between your ankles, and then lift your chest up. Then tuck your chin and try to straighten your legs, holding onto your toes, and try to straighten your hips and knees as far as possible. Then you're going to walk out, and you may or may not want to do a push-up with some stabilization exercises as well. Then you're going to walk your toes up as far as possible toward your hands. This is a great exercise for stretching of the groin, the glutes, the lower back, and to a lesser degree the ankles and heel cords. This exercise is great for hamstring flexibility, for balance, and to get our athletes comfortable moving their hips without moving their lumbar spine. Your body should be in a straight line from your ear to your ankle. The balance component of your foot being on the ground in good knee position is very important as well. This exercise is simply a lunge with a side bend. Please make sure your athletes are side bending toward their knee that's lunging forward. Also maintain that straight up and down position of the shin. This movement pattern is very important for our athletes as it teaches them to move their torso while stabilizing their lower extremities. We want to make sure that our athletes can stabilize at their knee and hip while rotating their spine. As they lunge forward, they are going to rotate away from the lunge leg while keeping their forward knee stable. Do not let them rotate that forward knee toward the rotation. This will cause the athlete to fire their hip rotators, which is very important. As they step through to the next lunge, they must keep their knee from collapsing inward. I demonstrate this on the forward view of the video. Their knee position and their tibia must remain straight up and down. The next exercise is a front bridge, and this is for shoulder, core, and hip strength. Lie face down in a prone push-up position with your forearms resting on the floor. Your elbows are under your shoulders and bent to 90 degrees. Push off of your elbows and extend your hips into the air. Your head should be in line with your spine, and you should draw in your belly button and contract your abdominals. You should continue to breathe throughout this exercise. This is a side bridge exercise, and it is for shoulder, core, and hip abduction strengthening. Lie on your side with your forearm on the ground and your elbow under your shoulder. Your body should be in a straight line with your toes pulled toward your shins. Push off of your elbow, creating a straight line from ankle to shoulder. Only the side edge of your bottom foot and your elbow should be in contact with the ground. Keep your hips pushed forward and body straight. Don't sag, bend, or rotate. The next exercise is a supine bridge, and this is used to develop your core and hip strength. With your belly button drawn in, bridge your hips toward the ceiling by firing your glutes. Only your shoulders and heels remain on the ground. Maintain a strong hip contraction throughout the range of motion. One at a time, extend your knee, making sure that your hips maintain the same position. You should not drop one hip when you're extending your other knee. These movement patterns and strengthening exercises, when completed as a daily warm-up, will contribute to increased sports performance and decreased injuries. Please contact the certified athletic trainer at your school if you have further questions. Baptist Health, a game changer in sports medicine.